I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe. What's come over me feels like I'm somebody else.
Hello guys. This is the Orange Hokage here, and today we are doing, What If Naruto Was Neglected by His Family Part 8. So now let's get right into the story. After Naruto's match, the other matches started to get underway. Miley was hanging out with him, telling him about what happened to her earlier with the Cursed Council. She never liked them, especially the Civilian Council, who thought they could control the shinobi as they wanted. But nope, she would shut them down each time, much to the amusement to the clan heads. Flashback: Miley was told by a couple of Anbu that the council had summoned her. She sighed, as she hated them with a passion. They would nag her on teaching and training the shinobi, but every time she would refuse. They just don't know when to give up, do they? When she arrived in front of the door, she sensed that they were waiting for her, so she made her dynamic entry, by kicking down the door and saying as she walked towards them, "Okay, what do you bag of bones want right now? I don't know if you've realized, but the Chunin exams are in progress and I have my brother to watch," she said in an angry voice. The clan heads didn't take offense of this, since everyone in the room knew she was referring to the Civilian Council and the two advisors. "Young lady, you will address us with respect. Oh, shut up already, would you? Now tell me, what do you want? Time's money, you know, or are you gonna pay me?" she asked with a smirk. "Let's not get off track, now. We called you here of the progress of my son Naruto," the Hokage began, but she abruptly cut him off with a glare. "You lost the right of calling him that a long time ago, and if it's about him, then I guess Kakashi already told you that I trained him. Seriously, does he have to tell you everything? Of course. You should tell us everything as well. It is your duty as a civilian." began. "Are you trying to tell me that I have to tell what kind of underwear I wear each morning? Man, no wonder this place is worried. They have a bunch of weirdos running it." This earned her a couple snickers. "We're getting off topic here. We want to know why you train him?" "Because he asked me to. We asked you to train our shinobi and you refused, but you trained the demon." The civilian was cut off with a blade at his throat. "Say some piece of shit about my younger brother again, and I swear I'll put this sword right through your chest. Do we have any understanding?" she said with venom, and he weakly nodded. She turned to the others and said, "That goes for everyone else in here. Call him a demon brat again, and I will level this village to rubble and blood." She removed the blade from the councilman and sat back down on her seat. "Why are you defending him?" Danzo spoke out. "What do you mean? Be more specific." She narrowed her eyes at him. "Everyone in this village hates him and yet you defend him. You aren't related to him by blood, but yet you call him your brother. Why, wouldn't it be easier to just side with us and remove him?" She looks at him and smirked evilly, which confuses everyone. "Let's get something strict here, little boy, because the both of us know what's up your sleeve." He paled in shock. "So yeah, let's not forget who the more superior one is," she said, sitting back down, gaining shocked looks from everyone present, including to guardian shinobi. She had just mocked the Warhawk and he listened to her. They all had the same thought. The world is going to end. I believe that no one should feel lonely in life. This village has caused a big mistake. Calling him the demon brat. Why? Because he saved their lives? Because if it wasn't for him, the entire village would be down under? This pathetic for an excuse village is too blinded by their grief, that they torment an innocent boy. A boy who was given the burden of hold a demon fox at bay in order to keep everyone safe. Let me tell you something, Danzo. Hatred is what releases the fox. It uses it to influence their Jinchuriki. Now tell me, leaving him at a near-death state by the villagers, only to be healed by the fox and then going home and you get the same treatment? Yet he doesn't know why people hate him. Why don't you put yourself in his shoes and imagine that torture? Honestly, wouldn't you want this village of pedophiles all dead? 'Cause I know I would want them. Pedophiles? You dare mock our village? Why not? You call him a demon brat, why can't I call you a pedophile? Besides, pedophiles are known for child abuse, and that's exactly what this village has done. The third Hokage would definitely be disappointed in all of you. I don't think he should have even saved this village. But what's done is done. Can we please go back on topic now? Sure, shoot away. Okay, we get that you don't like this village, so that's why you refused to train them. She nods. But are there any other people that you trained, or promised to train? Shikaku asked. Yup, besides Naruto, I trained Hinata Hyuga and Sasuke Uchiha. I promised Hanabi Hyuga that I would train her, and I'm about to start training Sakura Haruno in medical ninjutsu. That's all. Why you're going to train my daughter? But why? Well, I have to admit that she was really annoying, and her fangirling over Makoto's youngest puts legs on top of table, crossed. But after that, we were okay. I mean, she does have great chakra control, I just need to get her chakra reserves a bit bigger. Right now, they're really pitiful, really. Okay, is that all? I guess I'll take my leave. She stood up to leave but was stopped by Danzo. If you hate this village so much, then why are you still here? Or better yet, why not destroy it? Gasps were heard throughout the room with murmurs, but stopped when she said, 7 years. People look at one another confused. 7 years. I held back my anger and want to destroy it, and I didn't because one person told me not to. She said as she began to walk out. Who? Choza asked. Naruto Uzumaki, your demon brat told me not to. Even managed to hold back my father all these years. Honestly, he has too big a heart for such a disgusting place. They all looked down in shame. The same boy that they all hated had held back the scariest organization from bringing them to their knees, and yet they tortured him. Wait, one more question. Jiraiya asked. People looked at him for his sudden outburst. Really, again? Last question, what do you want? Serena Shina, who is she? She glared at him and sent out a killer intent. How do you know that name? What are you after? She said as she held him by the collar and lifted him in the air, all in a split second. Nothing, I swear. Just put me down. Puts him down. I asked Naruto if he wanted to sign the Toad contract, and he said no, that he already had one. When I asked what animal, he didn't say, just the name as a hint. So do you know? Of course I do. I was the one who gave it to him. It was my most prized possession, along with my sword. As for who Serena Shina is, she's my mother. And with that, she shined out. End of flashback. So that's what happened. She said as she finished telling Naruto what happened. Whoa sis, you really hate them, don't ya? Crazy as hell. The next set of competitors were finally said, and now it was the match that many were waiting for. Naruto Namikaze vs Naruto Uzumaki. There were cheers and wild screams from the crowd. The children of the Hokage were going to fight, and they knew it was going to be big. Kushina went white, and paled at the thought of two of her adorable children were going to fight. Naruto just looked at her brother, somewhat afraid. He saw this and didn't quite care, just jumped down to the arena, and she did the same. Alright then, the same rules apply as the previous matches. Now begin. The protractor yelled and then jumped away. Nisan, get ready, cause I'm gonna break every single bone in your body and then bring you back home. She said as she took to her fighting stance, as he did the same but didn't say a word. They both plunged forward and the battle began. The audience looked in awe. Neither one of them were backing down, but those who knew Naruto knew he was just playing with her. Miley just sat there with her signature cake and happily ate it, without a care in the world, much to the annoyance to others. Don't you care about the battle? I thought that Naruto was your younger brother? Kakashi asked, as the rest of the Jounins, clan heads and Kushina listened. Of course Kakashi, but he's just playing with her. This isn't a battle worth watching. Ha ha ha, you people haven't even seen 30% of his actual power. She said as she happily munched on. Just then they saw Naruto summoning a toad, and that's when they thought it was over. Oh, how wrong they were. You can't possibly think he can win now. He doesn't have a contract last I knew. On the contrary, he does. I gave him my mother's contract. Returning to the match, Naruto just summoned a toad. Just give up, Nesan. I don't want to hurt you. Again she was ignored, and so she attacked, head-on, but didn't see where her brother went. Where did he go? She thought. You know, you're quite persistent that it almost wants me to kill you. Do you really think that you could defeat me? You really are the arrogant and naive little girl I used to know," he said as his voice was projected everywhere in the arena, sending chills down everyone's spines, well, almost everyone. Well, he did hate her a lot. I bet the calling of demon brat from the villagers was all her fault too. Miley stated. "Excuse me? Are you telling me that it was Naruto that started it? That's just absurd," Kushina yelled. "You see, that's the thing. You guys were too busy doting over your precious daughter that you didn't notice that your son didn't have a lot of friends, save a few because she told them not to be friends with him. That's a lie. Naruto vo, but she was cut off by Shikamaru. No, it's true. All eyes were on him. Naruto told everyone not to be friends with him if they wanted to be friends with hero of the village, so naturally, everyone listened. Choji, Hinata and I didn't. Hinata, 'cause she had a crush on him, me 'cause I didn't want troublesome women tell me what to do in life, and Choji 'cause he sticks with me, has a kind heart and saw the whole thing as an idiotic thing. Later on Hanabi joined after she took a liking to Miss Sadistic over there, points to Miley who gives a grin and thumbs up, so that was our little circle. No one entered it and no one left." He yawned and closed his eyes. The parents of the said children beamed in pride for what their children did while the others looked away in shame. As Naruto tried to locate her brother, she was met with an unexpected kick, which sent her flying of the toads back. Naruto was then attacked by the toad with a sword, only to take out his own and defeat it. Jiraiya stood up from his position near Minato as he too was shocked. Naruto had just defeated one of the most mightiest animals as if they were nothing. They heard a loud laugh and everyone in the cage box turned and looked at Roz, who had tears in his eyes. "Man, you guys should have seen yourselves. It was hilarious," he said in between laughs. Naruto along with the Jounin and other Jonin were also shocked that Naruto was able to defeat a summoning. "Well, now that there are no summonings, let's finish this on our own," Naruto said, grasping for the last straws of her pride and dignity. Although she loved her brother and wanted him back, she also wanted to win and show her strength to him. "Just because your summoning left, don't think that I won't bring out my summoning." He smirked evilly. At this she visibly paled. He looked at the cage box, more directly at Jiraiya. "You want to know my summoning? Watch closely." With that, everyone was at the edge of the seat wondering what else the son of their beloved leader had up his sleeve. Jiraiya was waiting in anticipation. He bit his thumb and did the hand seals. Summoning jutsu, he yelled, and then there was a puff of smoke. After the smoke cleared, the faces of everyone in the stadium paled and the blood in their bodies drained. Standing before them was a gigantic blue dragon, that filled more than the entire stadium. There was totally silence until they heard uncontrollable laughter from the audience and the cage box from both daughter and father. They had waited for this day to come for so long, just wanting to know how the others' faces were. "Naru, bro. That was hilarious." Miley yelled out to her younger sibling. "Young Naruto, I believe you have summoned me for a reason," the dragon said. "Ah, yes, as you can see, Shin, it's the Chunin exams and I'm in the middle of a battle. You up for a fight? You are rather much capable in handling this against such a puny weak human, my boy. I don't see why I should intervene, but if you want me to, then I shall burn the entire stadium. You could have also summoned Kuruma and give them a scare. Haha, how I would wish to see that. Yeah, but you see, I wanted to show you off in a way after someone insulted you. What? A human dares to insult me? I am the king of all dragons. My boy, tell me who this person is, I shall toast them alive." Looking at Jiraiya, the old man pleaded to not rat him out. "Oh, how unfortunate. It's the white-haired man over there." He pointed at the said man. The dragon turned at the people at the cage box, who, if it were possible to get even paler, did. "You insolent human. You dare mock me. You shall pay for such trickery, but because you are friends with the toads your life has been spared at the moment. Do it again and it shall be your last." Turns to the audience, "And you other insolent humans. You dare make my dear friend cry and live a life of misery. You are lucky that he has such a kind heart, otherwise this village would be buried in ashes. Harm him again and you shall pay." Despite his pleads. Looks at Miley. "Hello there, my child. I hope you are doing well?" She nods. "That is good. If they bother you, just tell me." I shall make it that they will feel pain even in their death. Looks at the circle. Oh, I remember you little children. I hope you are all friends. No, enough with the chit-chat. Shall we finish the job, Naruto? I surrender. Please don't do anything, Naruto pleaded. She wanted to win, but if it meant death, then live to fight another day. Pathetic humans. And then he disappeared in smoke. Naruto just looked at her and said with disgust, "You surrender? Is this what all the students of the Hokage are all this week? You haven't showed me anything, and if that was all you had, the Shin was right to call you a pathetic weakling. You, my very own sister, was the first person to call me a demon, and guess what? I planned on showing you what kind of demon I am." He towered over her with a sword in his hand, as she sat scared to move as she saw the sword descend on her. Then she saw blood. Everyone was deathly silent as they saw the scene in front of them. Naruto looked at the blood running down his sword and cursed. At the last Minshu, Miley, with her unhuman demonic speed, had stopped the blade from hitting the shock-stricken girl with her bare hand and watched as her blood ran down the sword. He just looked at her and sealed his sword away. "I wasn't going to do it, you know. I know, but it was a close call. Come on, the match is over and you won. Let's go watch the other matches, okay?" He nodded and looked at her bloody hand. He felt guilty. The hand that was so gentle towards him while the others always wants to harm him, and yet he had harmed it. Taking it into his own, he began healing it, getting gasp from the shinobi of Hino's medical ninjutsu. "I'm sorry," he said, looking down. "It's alright, okay, it wasn't your fault. Cheer up, bro." She ruffled his hair. From the cage box they heard a yell. "Naruto, you did well," Roz said. "Arigato, Tasan," he said, grinning. Get looks of confusion and shock from the others. Those three just began talking as if the others didn't even exist. League language. "Honestly though, you should have harmed her, even if it was a little." Roz said, "Same. Hey, don't say such things. Do you want the council on our backs?" "Same. I too wanted to hurt her. Even if she got nightmares of me would be good enough for me. But I guess I don't want the council knowing. We're still here, you know, and we would like to start the next match," the protractor said. They said their sorries and walked off. After that, the entire village were afraid of the young boy, in fear of him getting revenge on them for what they did to him, especially because of the people and creatures he knew. Oh, they don't know how right they are. He was going to make them relive a nightmare, but not now. Soon. Very soon. So that's it for today, guys. If you like the story and want more, then please subscribe and turn on the bell icon. Until then, take care and goodbye.